as you can hear, Dad down there mowing grass. There he is, right there. So I am going to be pressure washing this frame today a little bit. It don't need much. I only got a few areas, got some crud on it. And while I'm pressure washing it, I'm going to use an attachment that I got. So I will run you guys through what I'm about to do, and we'll see if this works together, because I've never done this before, as usual. So, we got a little bit of crud there, but other than that, everything else is just rust on this thing. Now there's a little bit right through here. Not major, but got my new electric pressure washer that I tried out a little bit ago. I pressure washed our lawnmower that we use to mow grass, but I've got what come in this box, and this is a wet blasting kit. So this is the end right here that connects to your pressure washer wand, and that hose goes down there to my blasting media. So today I'm going to set the camera up here in a second, turn the pressure washer on, and we are going to find out how well wet blasting works. And this might turn into a total catastrophe. This pressure washer may not cut it. We're going to find out. So right here is my standard end on my pressure washing wand, and just going to pull it back and snap it off. Put that back here in my handle where it's safe. And then, so right here is the wet blasting wand, and it just snaps right into the one like that. Now this thing rotates a lot, and I don't know if that's going to lead to be a problem. We'll see what happens there. But it makes the one a little longer, and I guess that's good so you can stay back away from what you're doing, because planning if there's sand, I don't know if anybody's sandblasted before, it tends to blow stuff back at you and kind of get in your face. But and it's got some safety glasses over I'm going to put on when I go to do this. So now I'm going to turn the water on, turn the pressure washer on, and do this for a second, see how well it works. Okay, so let me share with you what I'm doing so far. You see me hitting it a little bit there. There are areas that you can see, like right there's a really good one right there, that it does a pretty good deal whenever it's working right. I've gotten down to some bare metal here too. The biggest problem I'm having is I cannot get it to draft properly. It keeps getting clogged up. I mean, you can see I've not used hardly any sand at all. And man, if I can get some of that happening. So I've taken the wand out, I've taken my air hose here, I'll get a clog out of the end of it and keep on trucking. But I'm having a problem right now getting it to draft. Now I don't know if it's maybe this pressure washer didn't have enough pressure, although I doubt that's the problem. I got an idea that I'm going to work on here. We'll see what happens. So I'll show you guys what I come up with here in a second. Okay, so this might be a fail and this might not. This is where everybody thinks I've lost my mind maybe. So if you look here, let me flip this around so I can make sure I'm showing you what I'm doing here. If you look here, I've put a washer around this right here and drilled a hole in this lid. And that's to keep this thing from coming up against the lid and keeping it from drawing air down to the bottom, right where this is going to be removed at. I've also put an air fitting in this bucket lid, and they're fairly tight holes. This one's a little loose. And my plans are is I'm going to put this on the bucket, and I'm going to take our regulator up here, and I'm going to start off trying like 5 pounds of air of pressure into this bucket, and that will basically pressurize the bucket to help push the sand out along with drafting it through the pressure washer. So I think this may work. Plus, keeping the lid on my sand while I'm water blasting over here, no longer on what that hose is, will help keep moisture out of the bucket anyway. So we'll see if this flies. Give me a second to get this hooked up. Okay, so I'm going to try and do some of this one-handed. And then, here's the end of our hose here. It's for our pressure regulator. Okay. Let's turn that down to about, let's go 10 PSI. Okay? So now, get the camera down here for a second. I'm going to connect this to one of these. Okay. I'm going to take it down a little bit more. Okay. That's a couple pounds right there. That's actually about 3 or 4 pounds. So, let's see how this works. Okay, so give you guys a rundown on what I've done so far and how things are going. So I've almost went through most of the sand here, and I know we're not down to bare metal. It has gotten rid of a lot of the heavier, scalier stuff in most areas. I almost wonder if the blasting media I'm using isn't big enough. This particular pressure washer has the option of putting in an additive, and I've got just regular dishwashing liquid mixed with water to help degrease it as I'm doing this, so it's getting kind of a 2-for-1. I'm sandblasting and putting a little soap in with it, so that's helping. As far as this deal goes, adding the air pressure to the 5-gallon bucket, that fixed my siphoning problem. I have no problem now getting sand through the tube into the pressure washer. So that right there was a significant difference. Something I'm going to do is I have got some number 7 glass bead, and I'm going to go ahead and just dump this in what sand I have left and see if the glass bead and sand makes much of a difference than just using the regular sand. So I'm going to dump that in there and try blasting again and let you guys know how that goes. Alright, so when I've done the glass beads, it keeps clogging. I even switched over to this here actual air sandblasting thing, and I can't get any better. So Dad has talked me into hooking up the old Honda gasoline pressure washer and seeing if I can't draft the last little bit out of that and see if it makes much of a difference. So it's got a little bit more oomph behind it. So we're going to fire this thing up and see if it makes a difference and let you guys know how that goes. Okay, so final decision. I'll show you guys what we tried here and everything that's working, everything that ain't. So that's kind of what I'm ending up with. You can see some bare metal on it. Once I added the glass bead to the bucket, I couldn't get it to feed. I actually kind of thought that the glass bead would not jam up with moisture as much as the sand would. We even tried Dad's high pressure power washer after I added the glass bead, and it would not draw it. And we tried putting it in the air sandblasting and then back in the bucket again, even with the big pressure washer, and no difference. So I would say glass bead, real fine glass bead for wet blasting is bad. As far as the sand wet blasting goes, if you had something that had a minor layer of rust on it or something just need clean, maybe take some paint off or some loose paint, I would say yes. But for trying to take all the major rust off this, I mean, you can see we got down to bare metal in some places. I did get most of the scaly stuff off. Once this dries, it might look a little bit better, but honestly, for the time it took to do it and the effort and everything, sandblasting, or at least wet sandblasting with this particular setup, now maybe you can get a nice big wet sandblaster, high pressure, high feed, maybe larger abrasive, and maybe that might be my problem is the size of abrasive I chose to use. But unless I made some changes and it worked better, I'm going to say no go on this particular wet blasting setup. However, seemed like, you know, other than the clogging of the hose, it worked really good with this sandblast, or this pressure washer, electric pressure washer. And that one right there just about take the rust off by itself, but that's a whole other pressure washer altogether. Dad's had that one for a few years now. How many horsepower is that one, Dad?
11, I think.
So it's a monster. But I am going to put links in the description to the kit that I ordered, the abrasive that I got, and this pressure washer. I just think that the kit is made for maybe a bigger size abrasive by the size of the hose and everything. Maybe I didn't get big enough abrasive. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need a larger abrasive. Maybe it's too fine for the water. And maybe I can revisit this later on a different project and try a larger abrasive and let you know how that goes. But I'm going to put links in the description for everything that I have. And appreciate you guys watching, and sorry it didn't turn out better than what it is, but you guys know the truth of the matter, and that's what I'm here for. Good, bad, or indifferent, you're going to know how it ends up. So thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you don't mind, and see you guys on the next one.